Tea time!
Babes, you have a glorious meal today. Please tell us.
My meal is consists of minerals and green tea and some vitamins. I'm on a fast, so I'm here to talk, not eat.
And in solidarity, I'm having green tea and I'm having 2 potatoes, which you guys have seen me eat probably 1,001 times, but I thought that... Are you trying to lift up my potatoes?
Yeah, so they can see it. It's covered by your green tea.
You know what? I was purposely trying to hide them.
Why?
Because y'all have seen me eat these potatoes, and these ones, this just gives nice room for hate.
Which brings us to our topic of today's tea time. Hating on a potato. I'm just playing, just haters in general. Here, let me take my first bite.
Okay, yeah, me too. How was it?
Yeah, little vitamin-y.
Oh yeah, good, okay. Minerally.
Really
little
minerally.
Tangy.
A little tang.
Well, I'm having a Japanese sweet potato and a purple sweet potato, and you can't say you haven't seen me do it before, because you have.
What I do love, we're gonna get to haters really fast, but she has definitely opened up her potato spectrum. She's now incorporated the Japanese, the purple, the normal orange is back in play. She actually had a white sweet potato a little while ago. So she's branching out in the potato family.
Japanese sweet potatoes are so good though.
They're so good.
And I had an orange. I used to eat orange potatoes exclusively, and it's now not even yummy to me.
All right, let's get to the topic of haters. Haters, listen. A hater is someone who dislikes you or what you're doing or what someone else is doing at any given time. I think haters and the culture have grown. Actually, maybe they haven't grown. Maybe they just have more.
They have a platform now where they're more easily seen because of social media. And I was gonna ask you, do you think haters really pertains just to people on social media hating on you? Or do you think haters is like everywhere? Like if you said to somebody, oh my God, I have so many haters, they would think right away. So like the two have become intertwined, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I think they have become intertwined, but that's also because social media has taken over everybody's life. Let's take away social media and you still had haters. You know, the original hater was the bully. And then after that, it was the mean girls in school hating on somebody or somebody hating on the mean girls.
Yeah.
It was those people, it was also the people at work.
That girl got to her head.
I know, right? It was also the people in the workplace who, you know, sabotaged your projects. You know, those are just haters in general.
Yeah, and cyberbullying is a thing, so I get whatever.
Yeah, it's all a thing. And we got haters, so what up?
Hi. We do have haters. You've had haters your whole life, huh?
I've had haters my whole life, and it's, you know, it's a journey. They've hated on me because of things I've said. They've hated on me because of my weight. They've hated on me because, you know, going out in public and just being a human. Somebody is going to find something to say. Now, you are kind of, I would say a sophomore now when it comes to the social media life and putting your life out in public.
Sure.
I'd say a sophomore. And before this, did you have haters?
Never on social platforms. Never was I so criticized. Like if I posted something to Instagram, I didn't get hate comments. It was like my friends and my family who liked and commented, and that was it. Now it's a different story. In school, I had my fair share of like being picked on or not getting along with certain people that made me feel self-conscious or bad.
They were hating on you.
They were hating on me.
Now, what did they hate on you about?
In school? I think just the basic, like the way you look, the way you act, nothing cool or innovative.
Is the hate really cool or innovative? Or is it just people who, like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, right?
Hating is just not cool or innovative. Like, to like someone and say what you like about someone, to me, is more innovative because you have to, like, dig through the normals and be like, yeah, I really like their hair color. Like, okay, but why? You know what I mean? So,
True.
Haters, do you feel like they are kind of Do you feel like the haters that you've encountered recently prevent you from being yourself?
Mm-mm.
Do they stifle you in any way?
Mm-mm.
I think a lot of people go through that. Do you have any advice for people who feel stifled by the haters?
Do you?
I do. If you feel that you have haters and they are either in your comments or in your life, you have to really look at yourself and see what you're doing right.
Oh my God, I can't stand it. Okay, so I think that...
You know what? You should hate on me. I'm amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I think that is one way to look at it. If you are being hated on by the general public and by those you don't know, they're giving you their time and their energy, which ultimately means they're still watching you, thinking about you, and care enough to do this. So even though it cannot feel great all the time, you're in their ether. I think for me, what I have found is a lot of the criticisms I receive or the judgments that are left in the comments are so far-fetched and they're just not based in reality. Like when I'm called a Karen or a gold digger, or people say I'm whitewashing Raven, all of those things are so far from the truth that I can't really, they don't really hit. I think that if there were truths to those things, it would probably be more significant, because I have had experiences where people have said things that do kind of get me in a little bit of a defensive mode, whether that's about like my food or how I eat or being maybe like really judgy or looking unhappy. Those things make me feel a little bit more reactive, so to speak. But at the same time, nah.
You know, there are some haters out there who do kind of go for the jugular. We've definitely seen many people on YouTube where they've taken the comments to heart and actually changed their way of behaving on the channel. And I find it kind of a masterclass in self-advocation. So when you have people coming for you, if it's about your looks, if it's really hurtful,
And get a helicopter and fly away, far, far away from the haters.
I can't wait to move. If you feel like you're being hated on for, the way you look and how you act or your body, and it's really, really hurting you, I think that's when you, one, need to go talk to someone and get a different perspective. Have somebody else read it, get a second opinion.
Just stop reading in general.
Well, yeah, and stop reading in general, but it's also a gift, right? There's a way to take that and turn it into a master class. When I used to read stuff about me, and she looks like the Jolly Green Giant, or she's so fat, she's probably pregnant, I really didn't let it penetrate my emotional space because I already knew that I was big. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not saying anything that I don't know. So if you take yourself too seriously, I think that the hateration will actually cut deeper. If you really realize that these people have nothing else to do except for give you comments, then it's a little bit easier to tolerate,
Well, I think that a fact about a bully, a hater, positive comment is that most of those things that are said about you from somebody else have more to do with the person saying the thing than it does you. So if you have somebody who is saying nasty things about your physical appearance, ultimately that has a lot more to say about that person's personality and their character than it does how you physically appear.
I'm gonna counter that. Babes.
Oh, okay.
Let me counter it, because right now,
Counter.
if anybody's really looking at this video, they could come for my nails and hate on me for my nails. That doesn't say anything about them. That says something about me and how I just refuse to take my nail polish off.
No, but it says more about them than you.
Why?
Because
I'll let you finish that bite.
it's real gluey. If somebody, let's say, is gonna define you by your nails and be like, Raven has chipped nails and she's disgusting and that means that she's dirty, that says more to me about that person than it does you.
Hold up, how'd it get to dirty? That she's...
Because people are gonna make assumptions, because I'm saying it has to be more weighted than that, than somebody...
her nails are chipped, she's dirty, she got lice, her hair is matted. Like, I
Well,
think that's that.
Because that's ultimately what the subtext of that is that if someone's gonna come for you, for your nails looking unmanicured, that usually means you look a little dirty, you look a little like you're not taking care of yourself. And the truth of the matter is,
I'm not right now.
oh my God.
I'm messing with you, babes. But I understand what you're saying.
Okay, here, I'll give you a real life example of a
Yeah,
comment.
give me a real life example.
Someone left a comment, I think on our unboxing video, about the way Raven looked. And it was something to the
Which I'll say.
It was something to the extent of, Raven, please have hair and makeup for when you do these videos. You look terrible. We're coming to see you on this channel and you look awful and you shouldn't present yourself that way.
Thank you.
And my point is that that person is triggered by how you look. They are having some kind of reaction so strong, and that says more about them. People look how they look. People do what they do for all different reasons. Raven might have been tired that day. Raven just doesn't care sometimes. Whatever, you're accustomed to seeing television, Raven. This is a different Raven. So people don't take those things into consideration. When people come for me for my bad attitude, sometimes they don't think that I have been sleep deprived, that I'm maybe it's that time of the month. Maybe I just got bad news before I had to go on camera and I'm not a pro at that.
That was a great job. You did a great job at that. Oh, only when she does it, I guess. Not when I do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do. See, I'm not a trained dog yet. I'm not a trained little pup. I don't know what's up. But my point is that if somebody is so bothered and so involved in somebody else's business/life that they want to spew hate at them, it says more about that person and what is triggering them and why they feel that they have to put somebody down.
Yeah, see, I really like the way you explained that, because a lot of the times you hear that it says more about them than it does about you, but no one's
And you
ever
haven't
explained
understood it?
Well, I just
Obviously,
took it.
because you wanted to challenge me.
No, I just took it. But I think you explained it in a great way. I think the word that you used that made me understand it better is that person's being triggered, right? So that word has definitely come up a lot in today's society, because that word was not being used in the 90s. I just don't remember it. It's being used closer to now. And it's true though. Like, if you see something, you're not accepting the person for who they are, you start going into your own personal journey and we call it projecting onto someone else. Then there are bullies. I think there's a difference between bullying and hate.
I was gonna say that, and there is a difference also, I think, for people to understand, like especially if you're someone, let's say you're a high schooler and you're getting bullied, there's a real difference between knowing somebody and knowing that you're physically going to be in the same space with that person than what we experience with, which is just somebody behind a screen who we're never gonna cross paths with and don't know. And it's very different if you're in a school environment
or a work environment, you know, there is that difference. And a bully, that's a lot deeper of a conversation. You know, that is, again, it's them. It's stemming from whatever they're going through and finding who they feel is weaker than them in order for them to feel more superior. When in actuality, there's a lot of self-insecurity that's going on within that bully's world and blah, 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 that we don't really need to get into because we're talking about haters, but there is important information to know the difference. And if you're being bullied, cyber-wise, in person or at work, that's unacceptable. Haters, however, those that just like to leave a quick little comment, those that do those quick little quips like, oh, you look cute, that's a hater, you know what I mean? But if she's coming for the jugular, or that person is coming for your jugular and like saying, I'm gonna beat that ass later, that's a bully, you know what I mean? You gotta know the difference. You want, she looks cute, whatever, you know, you want that. I think a hater is important for someone who's trying to grow their social stamp on life, personally, because I believe in ebb and flow. I believe the positive comes with a negative, and the more communication, the better.
I'm gonna challenge you on that in this
Challenge me.
I think that it's inevitable. If you reach a certain point of visibility, people will come for you. It just is what it is. And I think the only way you really get to maybe make peace with it, if you are vulnerable to it, is to just say, it's gonna make me stronger. If it doesn't kill me, makes me stronger. And
then yesterday, ain't nothing but a mile away.
And some people just completely ignore. They don't read, they don't look into. Other people do. And sometimes I think specifically on YouTube, there is sometimes constructive criticism, which can be interesting. I can appreciate that. I appreciate constructive criticism. When somebody chooses to do a podcast about why Raven chose to marry a white person, and it's an hour of talking about how terribly wrong it is.
That happened.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. And that makes me sit down and go, wow, that's surprising to me. It's surprising to me that people live just in that lane and they don't have the ability to move into a space of thinking about how love is love and how interracial relationships are a beautiful thing and how preaching tolerance and acceptance and openness while also maintaining respect for cultural differences, but also learning is a really cool thing.
And creating a new culture. You know, this is the time where we can blend together and create something new. You know, and it's funny, I wanted to also bring up, you know, you were talking about that kind of...
You can just like at Coffee Bean, when you get an ice blended, you can get a vanilla and chocolate ice blended and it's better than the vanilla or the chocolate.
Or
it's a new culture.
Or for example, you can get the vodka a la penne, but then add a little bit of cream and then it's, you know what I mean? It's like tomato sauce and cream together, a whole new culture.
Oh, yeah, you get the penne, you get the vodka, then you get the penne a la vodka.
Like roast daboki. Okay, anyway, I was gonna say, you know, you were talking about that video that came up about us.
Oh, the podcast thing?
Yeah, the podcast thing. And we watch a lot of YouTube, and we see these videos that are crafted to kind of accentuate the weirdness of other people.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, we watch them. That's just, you know, what it is.
You watch them. I would never
them.
watch those if it was just up to me personally.
Okay, well, I watch them. And sometimes she's there looking at the screen as well. She might not pick it, but you look.
Yeah.
And it hurts to see that the bullying has its way even through video. You know what I mean? That's not a hater type of video that we're watching when they pause and stop people and rewind them and play them back and do all this. That's a form of bullying. And, you know, nowadays, especially with the entertainment that we've created when it comes to television, social, and whatever, you know, it's more acceptable because it gets likes, it's making you laugh. You don't really consider it that. So I think as time goes on with our social media, we really need to be careful on bullying versus hateration.
I agree. There is definitely a difference between the two. And it also really depends, and it's hard to know too, but like who the person is, right? Because I know you're referring to one person and you can tell that this specific person is very sweet, lives in a little bubble, and is getting torn apart by people because they don't know how to pronounce a word correctly, or you know, they have weird little quirky things. And I think that when you look at that personality, you see that that person's going to be hurt by these things.
Yeah.
Whereas you take someone like me or someone like you.
You can come for me. Go ahead and make a funny video. I dare you. I'll probably comment and laugh and make one back. But that's because I have enough calluses on my body to handle it.
And at the same time too, I think for things like people that could physically come after for me, I see all of it. I know every single flaw that I have to the umpteenth.
No one can come for her harder than she comes for herself.
That's kind of true. Yeah, it's like everything that somebody could want to say something about, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I know that my hair is thinning. Like you guys came to my laser hair appointment and watched me get my beard lasered. Like there's, you know, it's just.
I think you're beautiful, babes. No matter whatever flaws you show yourself.
Thank you. I think you're beautiful too. And that's the thing too. I think that like people can really hide behind that screen, but ultimately, who are you? Are you this person who's spewing these negative things? You're telling me that you've never had hurt in your life, you've never
had
done
a bad
something,
hair day.
Yeah, you've never done something that you regret, you've never said something silly. It's just like, you're human, are you not? If you're not and you're a robot,
I have a problem sometimes when people come for things on someone that they obviously cannot change. And it starts at the beginning of humanity. People were hating and bullying people because they were left-handed. I know we don't remember that, but the history books do.
Do they?
Oh my God, it was like almost illegal. They would kill them. It was crazy.
Where?
In the world. Go check it out.
Where in the world? I've never heard of this in my life.
It's a real thing. Comment down below. You get whipped, you get killed. If you were left-handed, people thought it was crazy. This was, years before your mama, daddy, and cousins, uncles, sisters, brothers from 1800 was born. This is real.
So this is what, like Egyptian times, like pharaohs?
Like, go find it. It's real, okay?
I don't believe it.
I'll show it to you after. It's real. People were hating on people because they worked out in the fields and their skin was darker, and they felt like if you didn't, then you needed to cover your, to be prettier, you have to have a lighter skin. That still happens, but we're working on that here in America. We'll see. But there has always been an element of hating on someone for a natural occurrence in their body. And I think that's unfair. I think if you're gonna hate on someone's style or something that they can actually change. Like that haircut, I don't know if it's cute on you. Hate on that. Don't hate on the hair texture. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference on how to hate. That's the difference between bullying and hate to me.
Yeah, but you brought it a whole other level. Because if you're talking about skin color, when you're talking about biological stuff like the hand that, a dominant hand, that is not just like a group of wacky people, that's a societal thing. Like if you're talking about in Asian countries where white skin, like that very, very white skin is idealized, that's because culturally that's what they have deemed beautiful. The same way they were binding women's feet because women had to have the small petite feet, and then women had terrible feet problems. So you're talking about that, or you're talking about people like, brown and black people who were working in fields and whatnot, and I don't know what you're referring to there. Slaves?
No. Whatever it is, I'm saying that the history of hating and the history of bullying is so old. It's a part of our culture.
Oh, but obvi, because human beings are judgmental by nature. We literally have lizard brains. I've talked about this. We have lizard primal brains that back in the day, and I'm talking cavemen's time, when you had to literally go, is that thing gonna eat me? You have to have immediate judgment. That has adapted like we have, right? Now we're in a society where we don't have to worry about a saber-toothed tiger eating us, but instead we go, judgment brain, ooh, ew, what's he wearing? Or ooh, Raven is this, or ooh, Miranda's so stupid, she's doing this. That's where that brain is just gone.
Yeah, and this is why you have to be aware of it and where it's coming from, because it's a subconscious thing. It's a part of society. Like the same thing, I'm just bringing it down. Hateration, bullying, stereotypes, judgments, all of that is underneath the same umbrella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you look at someone, you're like, oh, I know exactly what they do. Do you, or are you just pulling a stereotype out of your ass real quick? Yeah. So that's a form of bullying/hate. And again, I go back and I'm bringing this up because I think that a good hate is not too bad when it's based on like, ew, why are you eating that ketchup? That's a different kind of hate than I don't like your hair texture. Like that's not fair. I can't change my hair texture.
Me either.
But I like
that's how you, those are the correct responses. That was a role play for all you guys.
Ew, I don't like, why are you eating that ketchup?
Because it's delicious.
Ooh, why your hair so curly?
I don't know, ask my mom and my dad.
And that's how you answer to the hate. Welcome to Tea Time.
Hate, don't appreciate. Appreciate, don't hate, I mean.
Yeah, appreciate, don't hate. And if you see anybody bullying, call them out, yo. Be a hero.
No, I truly think, in all seriousness, there is a problem with bullying, especially I think within, it's interesting. I'm watching The Morning Show right now, which is a television show, and it's all about kind of the Me Too movement and what women in the workplace have had to go through in terms of inappropriate sexual behavior from men, and that is a form of bullying and control and messing with one's mind, and it's extremely damaging. It's not to be taken lightly. And I think that, honestly, these things, I hope in time will change, but just in how we were talking about the primal brain, it's so ingrained in humans and how we live culturally and societally that I really think it's an individual mission.
It is an individual mission.
And
it's a masterclass in stop being crazy.
There's two levels of it on the individual. One is if you are the victim of negativity coming at you.
That doesn't mean that you should throw negativity back.
Correct.
That means that you have to be strong and do positive.
If you are the victim of negativity coming at you, it's your job to really work hard on compartmentalizing it as best you can and not letting yourself absorb it. So for us with the comments, you know, but easier said than done sometimes, but with the comments, you just kind of brush it off. Again, situationally, that can be harder if you have
Say your
bullies.
affirmations.
And then number 2 is to not repeat and to also step in when you see it. And I think that that's the individual mission. It's just really about perspective and mentality and, you know, because it can be really damaging.
That was proper, that was proper, babe. That's proper, babe.